On Sunday, AFC Bournemouth were demolished by Aston Villa in a formidable showing by the Villains, a scoreline which propelled them to 6th in the Premier League, leapfrogging the Cherries, who now slip to 9th place. It's been a weird 7 or 8 days, really. Being smashed by Manchester City was a difficult one to take, albeit maybe expected. Perhaps a defeat to Villa might have been expected too, given their resurgence, but not like that, Tom. 4-0. Are we paying the price for this rock and roll type of football that Andoni likes to deploy?
Potentially, mate. I think it's one of them things. If you want to cover it perfectly, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, mate. Fortunately, it's been back-to-back, so it always looks worse. I think in the grand scheme of things, you've lost to Anfield, you've lost to the Etihad, you've lost to Villa Park. It's not the worst thing in the world. We're level on points still with Villa, with Liverpool. It's not a bad thing. But in terms of in isolation, the game itself, I wasn't too despondent after City because I felt they were just a little bit too good. And don't get me wrong, Villa were the better side, deserved to win comfortably. But it was a poor performance in general. A lot of things didn't go right. I think it was one of those things where probably the first time this season where I thought every single player for Villa was better than every single player for Bournemouth in each position, and that's rare for us. And I think even Villa fans that we were speaking to before in the fan zone were confident with their side, but they were also saying, we're wary of Bournemouth. It never quite happened, mate. Obviously, we'd go into different sliding doors moments during the game, but at the end of the day, we're beaten by the better team. Unfortunately, and I quite like Villa, but it was a horrible one to lose like that because it just felt like the game got away from us a little bit, and I just always feel that as much as we said on the vlog and stuff that they're not that much better. Don't get me wrong, in the game they were, but I think from our perspective we knew if we raised it we could have game a real game. We just weren't quite at it, mate. It's one of them things.
Sometimes I feel as though with our vlogs and our content that we put out, we make we're friends with Villa fans really easily, but then sometimes we just, like a sort of magnet where you've got two north sections, we also repel them away by some cheeky little Tom Jordan comments just littered into our content. We will touch on the various things that you may have said. One in particular about the number one, but we'll move on to that later. But look, in this second look, we need to take a look, and this sounds mad. We need to take a look about what's going wrong, but in the same breath, we need to realise a couple of things, right? This is a blip, and we will bounce back. History under Iraola has showed us that. But look, sometimes you just have to acknowledge, like Tom just said then, sometimes it's just not your day. Just like it wasn't Villa's day when they got smashed 3-0 at home to Palace. No. And it's not due to one factor, it's due to a myriad of factors. And you said sliding doors moments, and maybe you can look at things like the penalty, the coming together between Adams and Smith early doors, lots of different things combined. They probably didn't help, but calm heads. We'll get through this next, 45 minutes. And look, Tom said it. We're level with Liverpool. We're level with Villa. We're level with United. We are, however, 1 point below the mighty Sunderland as we look at the league table. And this is where the goal difference really has come into its own, mate. I mean, look at that. 5 teams on 18 points. What?
That's mad, isn't it? If you had said going into this break at the start of the season, you'll be 6 points ahead of Newcastle, I'll go, oh my God, we're flying. If you'd said we're a point below Sunderland, I'll go, oh, hang on. So it's football, isn't it? It's so close. The frustrating thing in terms of visually looking at a league table was the amount of goals we conceded because, if we'd only lost by the odd goal, we'd be a fair bit higher. I think Man U well up a place by not playing yesterday, actually. But, it is what it is, mate. We're still in a very healthy position. It's just the fact that we, had that great run and then there's 2 L's back to back. But we'll be fine.
I'll tell you who will be also fine, the women's team, mate.
Yeah, can we just do the women's team today?
Should we just do a second look? This one was not a league match. It was the FA Women's National League Cup, and it was a convincing 3-0 win over Exeter City, who they're a good side, and we've recently had our battles against them, but that means we're now in the last 8, which is superb. Sublime brace from Molly Barron-Clark. Those are the words of AFCB.co.uk. Plus, Jenna Markham, great header as well with the opener.
Is that where we got her from? Exeter?
It was, yeah.
She left because you're...
Yeah, maybe. So, incredible stuff for them. And I think Helen Bleasard has said that they want to go all guns blazing in all competitions that they're in. And this is another one. Who knows how far that they can go. Get down to watch them if you can. And remember that game against Watford towards the end of this month. That is absolutely huge. I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So, Tom, we mentioned on the preview about the time that we had our last two consecutive defeats in a row in the Premier League were to the hands of Man City and Aston Villa, and it's happened again. And look, I hate analysing defeats because quite often you can be drawn into these conclusions about, oh my God, he's not good enough, or he should have done that, which then get completely negated or overturned literally in the next game.
Yeah.
So maybe what we should be looking at is maybe some patterns that we're realising from our previous two defeats, maybe even things that happened in the games where we've won. This one's difficult though, because this was a complete tearing apart, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Obviously the scoreline suggests that as well. And I think, sometimes you just got to, I think obviously the City one in particular, but even the Villa one, which obviously we're trying to get to that kind of point where we're competing with teams like Aston Villa, and you've got to look at it on the pitch and go, they're just better.
It's okay to say that, right?
Yeah, they're just better than us. They won't be in every game, they won't be in every time we play each other, but in moments like this weekend, you just saw a little bit more nous from them, I felt, in both boxes. And just a little bit more. I've always said that the way we play and the youthful vibrance of our team means that we could play with no fear and be brave and courageous and hurt teams. But also in moments, it shows that maybe there's a little bit of inexperience. I always go back last season. As soon as we thought, hang on, we're going to get Europe, we dipped.
Yeah.
And I think that's natural because the players will probably have that in the back of their heads as well. And they're a young group and a group that haven't experienced that very much. So yeah, I felt also. Hats off to Unai Emery. I thought he tactically was brilliant, and Andoni's never beaten him. And I think he was superb. The way he managed the game, the way he managed our threats. And at the end of the day, sometimes you got to say they're a blooming good team. We've not played them at a good time, which is a blow. But it's one of them things. You never know when you're going to play a team. I think we would have liked to have had them in the early part of the season. Now you look at it, but they turned a corner and it showed.
I've been reading some comments on YouTube from some people that watched the vlog, some people that have watched our reaction after the game. That was inside the stadium. We thought we'd just start early whilst the game was going on because there wasn't that much to get excited about. So 89 minutes in, I'm like, Tom, we're starting fan cams now. But I think Mark at half-time suggested it, and I think you may have, I may have. We sort of suggested the Villa actually weren't that good. That's a backhanded compliment, though, really, isn't it? Because they didn't have to be that good and scored 4 goals. And I've seen them before have levels beyond what we witnessed from them at Villa Park on Sunday. Either way, it's clear that we were worse. And had we raised our level, I'm sure that they would have more than coped and raised theirs a little bit too. But it's no different to our win against Fulham at home, our win against Wolves. We won those games, but we weren't that good then, were we?
Not particularly. I think,
the 4-0 scoreline makes it sound like they must have been good.
Yeah,
I think the way we play football, it can make a team look good.
Yes, because you leave holes, and they probably, if they had played a real defensive low block side, they might have got frustrated. I think the way we play probably helps Villa, but equally we didn't. It should help us if we, we spoke about how they've got caught recently in the press sometimes. We just didn't execute it well enough. But yeah, I think it was a backhand. I think the feeling was at half time was that we haven't been very good. But they're only 2 goals ahead because of 2 worldies. So you kind of feel like, both outside the box goals, it's a free kick that's beautiful. And then Anana's hit a kind of pot shot, which was superb. So you kind of go, so it feels like, particularly that second one, you think, if we hadn't played well, but getting at 1-0, we're going to improve. And we did. We come out second half and improved. And, the game just got away from us. But yeah, I think Villa can be really happy with how they did it because they, like I say, they just managed it perfectly and never looked like it was going to get away from them. And it was almost like as soon as we had the penalty and missed it, it was like a wake-up call and they just kicked on again. But yeah, I think whatever we've said in the moment and things like that, I think every Bournemouth fan was aware that the better team won the game.
Yeah, they've got that muscle memory of dealing with that situation many a time. They've got a formidable home record, and it was just a case of rinse and repeat. No matter who you're playing, they just do the same patterns of play, same style, and it works. And when you do that week in, week out, you can trust what you're doing and it will come good. And it came good again against a team that we thought that we could like punish them. And there were times where we nearly did. And we're talking about sliding doors moments. It's weird because it could have been like Bournemouth could have won 2-0. But also Villa could have won 6-0.
Yeah, it's a strange one. It is a strange one. As you say, I'm sure we'll get into them all. But there were so many moments in the game where it's just on a knife edge, and if that goes the other way, who knows? I know that happens in most football matches, but this really was one of them where I'm not saying we would have won the game, but it could have looked a lot tighter than it ended up being. Do they go on and get a couple more if we score a penalty with this 2-1? Probably not, because they probably don't play with that same way, because they're hanging on to something, whereas the game was won. So yeah, there's loads of little factors like that. I think from a Bournemouth perspective, the thing frustrated me a lot and would please Villa fans is that a lot of them players played on Thursday. And we're normally a very energetic team that have more tempo than the opposition, and it didn't seem like they'd only played a couple of days before, and we'd had a break.
I didn't watch it on Thursday.
It weren't brilliant, but they were.
From what I gather, they did what they had to do, and they professionally saw it out.
Second half,
conserving their energy for Sunday.
Yeah, they were
He's going to be delighted with how things have gone recently.
It wasn't a very good first half, but they always looked like they had too much quality. Kicked on in the second, got the job done, and then managed to get players like Buendia and Tielemans on to see if they were ready. And unfortunately, we kind of put it in the preview, weren't sure if either of them were going to be ready. And turned out, again, with the timing, did not want Buendia to be fit because he was very good.
Hey, Tom, we were on Sky Cricket on Sunday.
Weird, isn't it? Can you imagine a cricket game being on Sky Sports Football?
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, what's the best sport?
What is that all about? That's just not cricket. Anyway, it was a 2:00 kickoff. We had a good run up there in the car, didn't we? We left yours about 8:30. We could afford ourselves about a half an hour little pit stop at Family Farm just to chill out for a bit. But driving time, less than 3 hours. So we were parked up in our little cheeky little spot. Someone on the vlog comments said, "Well done for you picking that place to park. Very, very astute of you." Yeah. Tell you what, this is where it's at. We found some beers by the car, mate. What area was that? Like there was this half-open box of Peroni that just like someone dumped, and I just thought, it's going to be a load of empties. Some actual beers in there.
Loads of full bottles of beer in there. But and I decided that I'll have a little go on them when we win. It didn't happen.
Would you? If
we had won, mate, I'd have done anything. No, you know me. But they were in a bottle. Nothing could have happened to them.
Well, someone said they could be bottles of piss. Like maybe
I'd win at Villa Park. I'd have drank a bottle of piss. All right. It was a little bit strange, but kind of, I don't know. It was. I just looked back after the game, and they were all still full, and they were still there. And I just thought, what could have been?
That wasn't the best area of Birmingham. We know that, and we are doing an away day fan review, which kind of talks about everything bar the football match. Thank God for that. And there were a number of suggestions that we could and should have had some drinks in the city centre, which I love the centre of Birmingham. I've been many a time. I think I watched like Peter Kay there recently, which was pretty good. But I do love the city centre, and then you can get a taxi or a train to Witten or whatever.
Yeah.
But
could be bold. And it was 2:00, couldn't be bold. I think if it was like the 4:30, I think we would have gone, we can work it out. But you feel like, I just want to kind of be near it.
Fans' zone was okay.
Oh, it's still fine. At least it was dry as well. It's still fine. You get a few beers, and
the band were good.
Yeah, they were all right. But it's it's not the same as being in the pub, is it? But to be fair, a little shout out. We met quite a few Villa fans, didn't we, that said they watched, which still surprised me. Yeah, a little shout out to Ben. But a few fans came over and said that we're the only other club they watched content on, which was very, very nice of them. So just put that out there before we talk about their goalkeeper.
Yeah, all right. When the teams came out, mate, did you notice that they had the style in a more familiar format rather than that kind of like 11 different like thumbnails of all the players that they've done previously? Yes. We've just got a long list of players. I think I prefer it like this.
It's in number order, is it? It looks like it's in number order. Yeah. Did you see what Man United did at the weekend? They did it in order of how common the player's surname is around the world. So honestly, but I didn't realize. Yeah, I didn't realize Diallo was top, and then it was Fernandes, and then you have like Maguire, and they did it in that order, and Buemo right at the bottom. Yeah, they did it in that. What a ridiculous order!
They do that every game, do they?
No, I think they just all these clubs seem to be mixing up like different orders. I think because no one wants to do it in the formation. Do you know what I mean, or anything like that? But number order like that, bang on in it, perfect. And I feel like if that was in order of the names most common, Milisavljevic would still be at the bottom. So
Smith would definitely be.
Smith would be right up there. Yeah.
But when you did see that, what did you think? I mean, I thought initially that Smith being in for Jimenez might be a bit strange, but then the injury that he got in the end of the last game, maybe. Yeah,
and I mean, we did call Jimenez coming out, didn't we? But I just went for Cook over Smith, so I wasn't too surprised with that. Called Milo coming back in at centre-back, so I wasn't surprised about that. I said about Christie, which I'm sure I'll go into in regards to why I want him in the team, but understood Scott, he's been good. And did predict Ever coming in. and Brooksy coming out as well, and Krupa. So wasn't too surprised for them. I was nearly bang on, as we mentioned. Buendia come in, I didn't think he'd be fit enough, so I thought they'd go Guesson. But apart from that, they were as I expected them to be.
Evanilson maybe coming in to provide more of a press against a team that is more pressable, and we learnt that in their game against Liverpool, of course, maybe.
Definitely. And I think the City game was a prime example of, Krupa's been unbelievable since he come in, proper fox in the box. But if you're playing against them sort of teams that are good at knocking the ball around, the press wasn't as good whenever wasn't there. So I could see why we did that. Hindsight, maybe it didn't work. Obviously it didn't work, but would the score have been different? I don't think so.
Hey, Villa fans, because we've done it to death with ball fans. There's this app called SofaScore. I mean, you've heard of it, right? You use it loads, don't you?
Yeah, I like SofaScore. Yeah, it's always good for the old stats and seeing if your eyes are lying to you or not.
So if you're a Cherries enthusiast or a Villa enthusiast, you know the importance of getting real-time updates and real in-depth stats, right? SofaScore's platform is designed to give you exactly that. There's a website too, by the way, at sofascore.com, but millions of users use it. It's a free app to download. Live scores, stats, detailed insights, heat maps, loads of stuff, instant live scores, analyse every play with goal action animations, player stats, and a whole lot more. Interactive features too, plus it's a customisable experience. So if you want to get it right, there's a QR code if you're watching on YouTube now. Flash your phone at it, then press the button and download it, or go to afcbpodcast.com/SofaScore, or check the link in the description, because every download helps us to put out more content and vlogs.
And it is good
4-0 defeats. And it's a good app.
It's a very good app. And it allowed me to, when we were doing the previous stuff, it allowed me to, all you got to do, go on there, a few little clicks, and you realise how formidable Villa are when they've got Konza and Torres compared to when Mings plays.
Let's talk about the game.
Yeah.
Tell you what, mate, it started off with a really nice tribute to Remembrance Sunday with the lower Holt end with that huge display of poppies. I noticed a few Premier League clubs do it. Like Sunderland did an amazing one.
Very good,
almost the whole stadium.
Yeah.
But it was really well observed.
Yeah.
And then the game kicked off. We didn't have much football, though, until there was a bit of a clash of heads going on, where both Adam Smith and Tyler Adams seemed to be looking at the ball. We had a long throw from Semenyo, I think. They cleared it, and then Adam Smith was, coming from a central position to head it towards goal. Tyler Adams was almost coming the other way. Both of them focused on the ball. Bang!
I thought it was Smith's ball, didn't you?
I thought it was, And surely it's got to go to that player that's facing the goal anyway. But weirdly, the ball then broke to Clivert and Evanilson, who also were both going for the same ball. I think Evanilson got the touch, which brought a save out of Emi Martinez.
Great save, great keeper.
Yeah, great save. And that was an unfortunate moment that, unfortunately, whatever tactics that Andoni would have deployed with Smith in would have been thrown out the window, given that he had to come off.
Yeah, it looked like he apparently didn't want to come off, but obviously the protocol, and he was a lot of blood.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and obviously, it's fortunate that Tyler was all right. But yeah, you have a clash of head like that, it's probably a good chance one of them's potentially have to come off. They've got to be careful, haven't they? It's just a real shame for Smithy.
It's not a muscular injury.
Yeah, no, you said that at the time, and I agree, because she obviously got the break, and then I'm sure Smithy will be fine. But it was a shame for him personally as well. He's obviously not started since August, I don't think. Come back into the team, so I was really pleased for him. He has to go off like that so early, and it means you have to rejig it. Looking back, should he have brought Cook on, because Jimenez clearly not 100%. He got a knock last week, and obviously he ends up getting replaced at half time as well, and didn't play very well in the time he come on. But it was and that moment, it was kind of, that was what was to come, really. Not a good one for us. But it was weird with the chance we had, because we were chatting about it. It was if Ever had scored that, what happens? Because a few of their players stopped.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting one.
And wasn't there a situation with Villa and Leeds a number of years ago, the championship, where one team scored and then the other had to, was it Bielsa that told? So Leeds scored first.
Leeds scored, but a Villa player was I think Villa kicked the ball out thinking they'd get it back, and Leeds just played.
Yeah.
And they all kind of stood there, and Leeds scored, so Bielsa let Villa go and score.
Yeah. But then one of their defenders did try to...
Yes, I think it was Pontus Jansson.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he tried to win it back, didn't he? But it was all right in the end.
But what would have happened if we'd scored that?
We'd have been 1-0 up.
And then anything after that?
Yeah.
Someone questioned that in the YouTube comments, and I said we would discuss it. That's our discussion. I don't know. I don't think enough Villa players stopped defensively. I think the people in the moment...
I always think that if we had said, all right, you can go and score, just don't let it be Rodgers. Do you know what I mean? Like, I reckon they would have given it to Watkins to try and boost him up a little bit.
Or like Martinez.
Oh, probably. Yeah, he'd want to get involved when he make it about him.
One of the things that I felt at times we had a very high line again defensively, but then other times we were deeper. But there was one moment in particular, and one where Petrovic nearly exposed himself somewhat with coming out too early. So the ball was in the middle of the park, and then I think the ball was played back to Kamara. It's these little triangles, and then just this simple ball over the top. I mean, Senesi does it all the time.
Yep.
Trofeo was exposed.
Again.
Matty Cash was running through. Petrovic came out, and you could tell he knew he made the wrong decision.
But he dealt with it.
He dealt with it.
Is that the one where he put his arms up?
He was outside the box. He had to backtrack a little bit, but not the whole way. And then Cash obviously tried the lob.
He looked like a genius, though, Petrovic. But yeah, you're right.
He managed to gather it, but that could have been...
Yeah. What I would say is there was a few times, if you just go back to like last season, there was a few times where Kepa, obviously we had in goal, committed and you knew he made the error, and then he'd take him out. Or do you remember Liverpool away? He came out and just got done. At least he'd come out, it was the free, he'd come out really far and they just took him out and scored.
Yeah, I vaguely remember.
Petrovic commits, makes the wrong decision, but made up for it. So fair play to him. But yeah, again, Trofeo, like you said at the start of the show, you don't want to get too carried away, you know, with players not being good enough and then being brilliant. But, you know, we've all spoke about how much better he is than Kirk. Oh, what genius we are to get him in. Yeah. He's been crap for a few games. Yeah. You know, just let's be honest about it. If we, you know, we're gonna.
He's not a crap player.
Of course not. I quite like it. I think he's going to be very, very good for us. But I think, you know, you obviously hype players up when you play them really well. You know, we're just going off this game. He's rubbish. He was rubbish again. So, bit of a concern for me that he's dipped so much, I think.
And Villa fans were on his back a lot during the second half, booing nearly every one of his touches. But
why?
Well, he was booked, and then they think he should be booked again.
Could have got another. I think it would have been harsh, and I always think that refs never do it. But then there is a thing that they say that the second yellow has to be a little bit more than just a yellow because they're. But I think it would have been harsh. But I understood why. I'd be frustrated if I was a fan and saw that. We would be clear shouting for it if someone on a yellow made that tackle.
Hey, we hit the crossbar twice during that game.
Did we?
Well, no, not all we hit the woodwork twice during that game. So Evan Nilsson in the second half, and then Alex Scott with another corner.
Oh yes,
this was he had I think Tav had a marauding run down the left flank, and then Buendia gave away a corner. It wasn't that corner, but it was one shortly after that. Scott whipped a ball in with his right foot, and then Martinez had to sort of, I don't know whether it hit the crossbar or not, but I mean I think it did. But is this a thing we're doing now? Is this a thing? Trying to score from corners?
Yeah, not sure. Or maybe we're just trying to go into a certain area and sometimes that can happen.
Martinez claimed quite a few of them.
Yeah, he did. He's pretty good at that. I think both goalkeepers are quite good actually, dealing with that. So, it was, it's one that we're probably just trying to get into a certain area and see what happens. It would have been crazy if we scored another corner.
We don't do short corners anymore. Well, we tried a couple in a recent home game, and then we thought, actually, no, Taff, just score.
Just stick it in.
So he did. But I don't know, I thought we'd mix up a little bit more. Obviously, Villa had some success with that in the second half. But look, let's get on to another big moment, I suppose, where we had a free kick where Alex Scott was running through at pace. I thought it might have been a penalty, but the contact was just outside.
It was outside, it was outside. Lovely little run. I actually think he could have shot.
Yeah.
He took like an extra touch, but it was obviously clipped.
Why didn't Semenyo take the free kick? I mean, he's done it before.
Surprised. I think it's one of them things that they were obviously discussing it.
Is it just because it's slightly on that side, maybe?
Or sometimes I think when it's in that position, maybe Semenyo said, we think it's going to be me. Yeah. So maybe surprise him with a left foot. Yeah. And listen, we don't know what Semenyo would have done, but to have done what I expected him to do and just smash it. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was just too much on it. It wasn't executed very well. But I'm sure it won't come back to bite us and they won't get exactly the same situation.
2 minutes later, Jimenez, I mean, at the time, I just thought it was an accidental coming together. But when you watch it on the replay,
it's a bit silly, actually, wasn't it?
He had eyes on him and it was intentional. 27th yellow for AFC Bournemouth this season, the highest in the Premier League now.
Yes,
we are a dirty team.
We're very fortunate that Chelsea have got a lot of red cards for the disciplinary. But and now that's him on 4, I believe. So I'm pretty sure that's Jimenez and Adams, both on that tightrope of, 1 yellow away from a suspension. Looking at it back, in the moment, I thought that looked like a bit of just a barge. I didn't look that bad. But when you look at it, it's more the fact as well that his eyes aren't on the ball. Yeah. But I still felt, that's a little bit too close for a free kick. But it's a worldie.
Buendia's free kick, I mean, like,
that's a worldie
technique on it. And it was the placing of the wall a bit incorrect, or
don't know. I never know with them sort of things. That's whether that's the wall or Petrovic not organising his wall well enough. I'm not sure, but Petrovic, in my opinion, does the right thing, covers the other side, and you basically say to a player in that position, don't you? You've been silly enough to give away the foul, and you basically say, look, see if you're good enough to get it up and over this wall. He was is one of them things, mate. But again, it's that slide doors moment, and how many players do that in that one attempt. It's a hell of a
World class.
hell of a free kick, and he's got that quality in him, Wendy.
I'm not saying this to be an arsehole, Villa fans, but Villa Park was really quiet up until that point, and you even took some videos on your phone, essential Villa friend, didn't you?
Yeah.
And but it really was. But when it gets loud, it really does get loud, and everyone was singing together, and it was quite an intimidating atmosphere. That then seemed to help the team. We were at 6s and 7s for the rest of that half, really. For the rest of the game, arguably. Yeah. We had a spell in the second half, of course, but they just looked so much better. And Jimenez was at the centre of the action again. On 40 minutes, he lost the ball, and then the ball was recycled to the left side. Morgan Rogers got it. He nutmegged him. And then laid the ball back to Onana on the edge of the box. Nothing's on whatsoever, apart from the bottom left-hand corner where he scored a worldie. What a goal.
Great finish.
What a good finish.
Great finish. Again, that's what we say about them little moments. They could have scored before that. I think Petrovic made a really good save. We had a little clearance that looked like they were going to just tap it in. So they did have moments. I'm not saying they didn't, but I think the reason we were so annoyed to be 2 down is because both them goals are like, how many players do that? And I think what I'm saying is when Onana had the ball, if you had paused it live then and gone, do you want him to shoot? Okay, yeah, go on, man. He ain't going to score from there. It's a great finish. Onana hadn't scored many goals. I remember at Villa Park last season in the draw, he was brilliant. He was brilliant in the game, return game when they beat us at our place. He was brilliant again. He seems to turn up against us. Don't get me wrong, he's a blooming good player, but that's when you look at the level sometimes. I think Onana and Kamara, both unbelievable, and then you've got Tielemans sat on the bench. You just go, oh, yeah, that's a bit of a level above. And I felt that our midfield have been very, very good this season. But I just felt that Onana in particular, but also Kamara, Martial, were just a level above. Onana was an absolute beast in there, I thought.
The heat maps show that a lot of their success was down the wings. Look, just down the spine of the pitch in our half, there's barely anything. And this is where our fullbacks got exposed the most, I would say. And you can see that there. When we went forward in that first half, our touches weren't good. We had that one moment where Evan Nilsson was played. Was it Senesi who played the ball through to him? He kept on doing that time and time again. It was a real successful ball, actually, for him.
Yeah, I was surprised that's what I mean. Evan was seeming to make the runs and catch Konza out. Konza's a superb centre-back. But then it never would fall from his touch one right. He looked like a player that's been out for a little bit, I felt, a little bit rustiness. Because I never say, people have their critics about Ever. I never say it's his first touch, really. Or it just didn't quite come off a few times, which is a real shame. As you say, mate, it was like we'd do a little bit and then that final bit just wasn't happening.
Would Krupi make that run? I'm not sure he would.
Maybe not. I think if there were chances that were just kind of like on the penalty spot that we were fluffing our lines, I'd go, well, I could have done with Krupi poaching in there. I don't think there was many opportunities like that, to be honest. So yeah, but it felt like if you go back, it was just one of them days, wasn't it? It really was.
It was. I thought that one of the positives you can pluck out in terms of his defensive actions. Senesi I thought his distribution was pretty good with those kind of balls down the channel. But Velko, in terms of his defensive qualities, we might want to talk about distribution a bit later on. Yeah. But I thought he coped really, really well. And there were a couple of sort of last ditch challenges that certainly helped to keep the scoreline down.
Yeah, I thought he'd done okay. It's just a weird one, isn't it? We've lost the game 4-0. I actually didn't think the centre-halves were that bad.
No.
In terms of their kind of one-to-one duels, I thought they'd done really well. Kept Watkins relatively quiet. As you kind of mentioned, mate, I think the fullback struggled a lot in the midfield in front of them. But I actually thought the centre-halves individually were okay. Maybe sometimes it's a very, very new partnership. They've only played a couple of times together. So maybe positionally, if you looked into it, it's not all there yet.
And he's not overly comfortable on the ball.
No, definitely not. I thought Milo just kept giving it back to him. But in terms of just what a centre-half, kind of that bog-standard thing of a centre-half doing, he does very, very well. He's 18. He doesn't look like it. So, yeah, there were moments where, I think it was him that I mentioned that they put like a ball across goal. It looked like it was a tap in. He just got his toe there.
Yeah.
I think that was Milo. So, yeah, not too bad for sure.
So, second half then. And did we make any changes straight away? Well, Lewis Cook on for Alex Jimenez, which was one of the changes that you suggested might happen in the first place.
Yeah, and you never, it's not going to be a day when your left back has a bad game. He's already on a yellow. The fans are booing him because he could have had a second yellow, and you're on your third right back in the 46th minute. But there clearly wasn't something right with Jimenez. That's why he didn't start the game. He obviously has to come on, and then wasn't playing well. Had a knock last week, got a yellow. he had to come off, and Lewis Cook's a pretty good understudy. Not that he did much in the game. He didn't do loads wrong, but he wasn't good. But understood the change for sure. I wondered if we might mix up even a little bit more at half time. Maybe the fact that Smith's sub didn't use a window because it was concussion helped us in that sense. But I kind of earlier I thought I wouldn't mind little Brooksy just for a little, because we were just saying about how it all kind of broke down in the end, and I thought he's just a little bit cleverer sometimes.
Yes, I agree.
So maybe that would have been something we've done looking back.
But we did look better, indeed. The attacking momentum actually shows this. I mean, look at the length and the frequency of those blue lines there in that second half. Plenty of it. It all culminated in a moment that we really don't want to go over, but we'll have to. Before that, though, Martinez again was called into action with a really good run from Justin Cliver, actually. He sort of lost the ball, but then Semenyo, picked up the baton. And then it fell to Alex Scott, who had a shot sort of side-footed, but it deflected high in the sky. It was dipping underneath the crossbar. Martinez scrambling back, manages to tip it over the bar. Again, that's why he's the world's number one, mate.
It was an unbelievable save. And obviously he saved a penalty later. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It was a top save, and might as well use this point because every blooming comment is about me saying that he's been one of the worst goalies in the Premier League this season. So he has, by the way. He has. I'm not changing. I said in the preview that this season, Emi Martinez has been one of the worst goalkeepers in the Premier League, and I stick by that. He is a brilliant goalkeeper.
But are you talking like this? Is this like stats? Is it using SofaScore for this or the eye test or what?
You see how many mistakes he's made this season?
Yeah, quite a lot.
I'll tell you what I'd like to do, Villa fans or Bournemouth fans. There was only a few days ago, they announced that Emi Martinez was in the nominees for goalkeeper of the season. Yeah. Again, like PFAs or whatever. Go and look at the replies. Go and look at the quote tweets on Villa fans. Just all laughing about it, going, "Are you joking? He's crap. We want Bizzo in. How's he done this again?" So yeah, I honestly, they wanted Bizot to come in because he's been very good when he's deputised, and obviously Emi nearly left the club. He's an unbelievable goalkeeper. I think when he won the award, he deserved it. He was the best goalkeeper around. And this game, he was brilliant again. But this season, prior to this game, he has not been very good to his levels. He hasn't.
Tom, do you not want the new subscribers to Back of the Net to stay subscribed, or do you just want them to?
I think they'll all agree if they're honest about it. I know the irony of me saying he's been bad and then him having a great game is funny. I get that, and it's typical. Of course it is. But he hasn't been very good. But in this game, he was back to his usual self, really.
He was.
But yeah, he really was. But yeah,
that shovel.
No, that's true. I mean, someone did say us, giving him stick was, kind of weird. I thought the irony on that is kind of they've given him a stick all season, mate.
Yeah, okay.
But he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and what a save that was, mate. It was one of them that you just thought that's a little moment in the game.
Yeah,
a little deflected lobby kind of goal that just gets you back in it. But top save.
So there's another sliding doors moment to come with another chance that we had where I think Tav won a corner. And it went to the far post. I didn't realise at the time that it hit the post.
Yeah.
There was someone in front of me that said, "We've hit the post." I was like, "Did we?" It was so hard to tell when you're looking from that angle. And then I think Trofeo had a shot blocked after that. I have remembered a shot that he had also, that first one. So that's a bonus. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bonus in them positions, I suppose. But yeah, that's what I mean. We spoke there, and I think that second chance was before the hour. So we've already spoke. That's what we say about that second half. We've come out, and before the hour, we could be 2-2.
But so this is why making the changes on 63, and in hindsight you look at the fact we got a penalty and you think but we didn't know we could get a penalty. But I thought Justin Cliver at the start of that second half was actually doing quite well, a lot better than he was in the first, and he had to make way. And there was a lad called Dom who's I think Down Under, who was watching a stream suggesting that he might have looked a little bit disappointed.
Yeah. He does always seem to come off around that time when he starts, Cliver. Don't know if it's a fitness thing. You never know with things, do you, that if like the medical team think he's only going to be at this level for an hour, how much detail they go to now. But I kind of understood freshening it up. As you say, it was Cliver's best period in the game. So maybe you look back and go, give him another 5 at least. I understood to Trofeo off because he was rubbish. And just to give a bit more attacking impetus, the benefit of having a Marcus Tavernier is you can go and put him at fullback. Yeah. A lot of people are saying, why does he stay on the pitch when he's, people like Cliver are better? Well, Cliver's not going to go to left back, is he?
And can you understand the Alex Scott Christie one, just the more energy that we needed?
Yeah, a little bit more energy, as you say, mate. I think, Scott wasn't bad, but, I think it is that energy thing of Christie. It feels like you could suddenly rough him up a little bit, nick the ball back, and obviously getting creepy on the pitch as well, just in case something drops. He's a goal scorer. Adley, not sure. I would have even bother with that one. If you're going to do a player, I probably would have rather Gannon Doak's pace over Adley, who I'm not really convinced on yet. Or Adalili, as they're announcing. Yeah.
So 2 minutes later, Krupa wins a corner, and then it was the 6th corner of the second half from Tav that was swung over, an Evan Nilsson header, handball, Morgan Rogers.
Yeah, he loves the club, Morgan Rogers. Yeah, didn't even bother scoring.
Leeds cherry red.
Weird, wasn't it?
He has signed a contract extension, but
he has actually.
It was a weird reaction, by the way, because I didn't know what it was. Because you were like, "Oh, is it a free kick? Is he giving a free kick somehow?" And then I was like, "Is it a pen? What is it?"
It was so weird from Rogers as well. It's like, why did he stick us out? It was like, I don't know. Do you remember that? Why has this come to bed? Do you remember? You must watch In Between Us.
Yeah.
Do you remember that episode where Will Will takes drugs or so for the first time, and he just randomly keeps putting his arm up? I don't know why Rogers did it. I still think he loves the club, but strange one. And you think, here we go. I wasn't confident because suddenly in my head I'm going, I said Martinez ain't very good. We've got penalties, quite good at penalties.
Hey,
Cliver's just come off.
It's been clipped up. It's been clipped up, and it's been put all over social media, apparently. This moment, and people are like, why is he not watching the pen? Tom never watches penalties. Like, either for us or against us. It's just one of his things, okay?
Stupid little thing, doesn't really make any difference.
Of course it doesn't make any difference to what actually happens, but that's just his thing. So just let it be, right? This is 2025. People can do what they want to do.
It doesn't really matter either, does it? It doesn't really matter.
It's football.
But yeah, obviously I've seen it about many times, and to be honest, I don't think it's the worst penalty in the world. I think it's a bloody good save. One hand, good strong hand. It's a brilliant save. It's typical in it, and obviously that this chant comes out.
Semenyo is not the type of cultured finisher that would open up his body and put it to the right-hand side or the keeper's left. I'm not sure he has yet.
He normally just smashes it down the middle, doesn't he?
Yeah, or I think against Everton, that was fairly central, but it was a little bit to the left. Has he put a penalty to the right-hand side? I don't know if he has, but he seems to go for that side quite a lot. And I don't think he's got the composure. It's so easy to say.
But I know what you mean.
Because if he scores this, we'll say completely opposite. But Cliver, I just think, has got a little bit more composure in the situation.
Cliver's a penalty taker. I think people would be forgiven to think, Anton Semenyo, Bournemouth's goal scorer stuff on the penalty, whatever. I think plenty of people would forget that he's not a penalty taker. He's just Cliver has obviously comes in and out of the team. So if he's not on, and every time this season we've got a penalty, he's not been on. So Semenyo's it was Evan Nilsson he missed one,
Chelsea,
and then it's been Semenyo, and he hasn't missed. So I knew it would be Semenyo. But I wonder if sometimes you're going up against a goalkeeper that is known for being good at penalties. Emi is known for that. Semenyo is probably thinking in his head, he's good at penalties. He does his research. I always hit him down the middle.
Yeah.
Shall I change? And I just think, I wonder if that psychology gets in your head a little bit, and he's trying to put it in the corner thinking Emi might stay still. You look embarrassing if Semenyo just puts it down the middle and he catches it.
I've only seen it once, but he does that stunted run, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that to try to force a move from the keeper? Is that just to see if they move?
And if he moves, he can just put it in the other corner.
Martinez ain't going to fall for that.
No, it's a very good save. The thing about the save as well is it comes out then at an angle, so it doesn't come straight back to Semenyo.
Yeah. He
tries to muscle in. But it's a very good save. But as we've already mentioned, we had some big chances as we come out the second half. We get a penalty. If we were to score that, you never know. It would have been the ascendancy. It wouldn't have been a 4-0, obviously, to have scored, but it would have just been exciting.
So real shame. When you're not watching, what are you listening for first? Are you kind of listening to the home fans or watching them? Are you watching our own reactions as Bournemouth supporters?
I mean, I think when we're at home games, I just normally close my eyes because you can just hear it. When obviously you're away, it's difficult to know. Yeah. So I was kind of looking just above you because you can see the Villa fans. Yeah. And if the Villa fans cheer, you know what's happened. So, it was, I kind of knew exactly what happened. And you said saved straight away. Yeah. Real frustrating. And I don't know if you agree, mate, and, you don't want to say that the players didn't give up or anything, but it felt like a moment, us as fans as well, and the players kind of went, that was our chance, done. And then Villa almost went, that was their chance, we can just play now.
And then they make a triple substitution, and substitutions that were quality to almost stick some salt in the wound. So Barkley, Tielemans and Sancho coming on.
Can we just repeat that, by the way, that, we're saying about, obviously Villa, really tough place to go. We shouldn't get carried away about losing there. They're 2-0 up. They're bringing on Ross Barkley, who always scores against us. Yuri Tielemans, unbelievable, and Jadon Sancho. They're bringing them on. You know, that's they're bloody good, mate, and they've got some really good subs. And yeah, I think Villa fans, if you watch the preview, will know. And I think if you actually commented it, Barkley scored against us last time he came off the bench at Villa Park. He scored against us for Luton. He scored against us for Everton.
He's the new Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, Mo Salah.
Yeah. His record
every
will be up
time.
There. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't have predicted him to score a headed flick on. But
no, and this is where I think Iraola, I mean, I think in his post-match he said he was concerned with the first half. I'm concerned with the second half, 2 set pieces. I mean, the first corner was a header flicked on, and the second one was a short corner, which
very
too much space on the edge of the box for Tielemans, and it came off Marlon. But 2 moments that wasn't a big fan of.
No, I appreciate what you're saying. I think more it was the concern with the first half. There was a lot more positives in the second. Concerned about the 2 goals we conceded in the second half. Totally agree. I think the performance itself wasn't bad in the second half as much. We were on top, and it was just then 2 moments that made the game look more alarming and obviously send us further down the table.
Well, we had more shots in the second half. I think 9 to their 8. This is the shots chalkboard that you're looking at on YouTube if you're watching it. It says 16-12. The match of the day graphic actually says 16-13. So
they maybe not include a penalty or something?
Maybe not. But that is the stats as far as those are concerned. And also there was a bit of a contrast with XG stats as well, because there was one that saw us register more.
We were 2, yeah.
But with SofaScore, we actually register less than that. So
again, is that
possession 1.61?
Is that taking out the penalty then?
Maybe.
Because even when we were the graphic I looked at where we were ahead of them on XG, I thought that's because we had a penalty.
Yeah.
So maybe because that just racks up. Yeah. But none of their goals were goals you'd expect to go in either. Really.
No.
Yeah, a free kick from outside the box, a goal from outside the box, another goal from outside the box, and a little flick header.
And also, when you hit the post, like with Evan Nilsson, and obviously, I think a penalty is rated at 0.8 XG, so that's going to be huge.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And Villa saw the game out fairly comfortably, and in hindsight, you're in the car on the way back having these sort of conversations about what we could have done better. What do you think the constantly changing defence is helping us? I mean, Velko's been flawless, and Diakite has had a couple of dodgy games, so you can understand why.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's played Velko, but as good as Velko was defensively, there were moments where his distribution was absolutely woeful, wasn't it?
Yeah, to get them straight back onto us. I think what's difficult is
he just needs to work out who his favourite partnership is. Do you think?
It's very difficult. We had last season, the 2 centre-backs have now gone to PSG and Real Madrid, and Zabani and Howson, so it's always going to be difficult. So then you've got, Celeste's been given that role as kind of the main man, and it's which of the new boys are partner him. There's going to be an element of he's got to work that out, and he wants to see both of them. And unfortunately, when it's a centre-half pairing, the partnership's important. So for Senesi, he probably doesn't like the fact that it's changing constantly. I think the weird one for me was, because Velko came in because of Diakite being injured, remember, was brilliant. He come back out straight away, and I thought, okay, Diakite's not done anything wrong, he was just injured, fair enough. Then when he got dropped, when Diakite got dropped, and Velko's come in and done really well, you don't need to change it again then. So I think Velko come in against Forest, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
So he brought him back in, which everyone was a little bit surprised about, but I think, Diakite didn't have a good game at Palace.
Yeah.
So I couldn't understand the City change. That was the one for me. That why did we check? We could have just kept with Velko then. They're both fit. Yeah. Diakite wasn't good against Palace. Velko comes in, was good. Just leave it at Velko. We changed it to Diakite, who again struggled. So we've gone back to Velko, and it's a bit all over the place.
Diakite's a little bit quicker, over like 5-10 yards, is he?
Yeah, a little bit. The problem is, Celeste's not quick. I don't think we've got a centre-back that's that quick.
Yeah.
And there is, listen, it's not their fault. There is a case sometimes where you see them and the way they run, you think, would Howson and Zabani have got? Yeah, probably, but that's why they're at Real Madrid and PSG. Yeah. It's going to take time. I think Diakite and Velko are both good centre-backs that will get good, but there is an element of, even if now, whoever he plays in the next game, obviously West Ham at home, even if they don't have a good game, it's kind of, now let's give a centre-back, let's go, you're our man, a little bit, maybe.
And does this maybe underline the whole Andoni Iraola almost preferring a smaller squad, because he has less options to mix things up, like he has, because he's got some good options at the moment.
Yes, got a lot, because we haven't got the injury. So it's there is an element sometimes when you've got that many options. They're all quite tight. Listen, you've got Adams, Cook, Scott, and Christie, 4 central midfield players there, and they're all bloody good, and they're all blooming fit. And then you look at, Krupi's doing well, and then Ever's good at, and you look at all these options, and it ends up with you over rotating potentially, because you've got all these options. So you think, I'll try him. When you can't, everyone knows their role, and is what it is. So it might be an element of that, mate. But
if only we had a cup competition.
Yeah, it would be nice to get some of them minutes. But yeah, alas, we were rubbish in that one, unfortunately. But yeah, no, listen, I think there's the centre-halves. I think it's more of a partnership thing, because I don't think individually they were bad in the game. I just think that maybe they're learning a bit too much about each other. Doesn't help when one of your fullbacks is off it and the other one's being changed every minute because of injury.
Just checking out the average positions now for AFC Bournemouth. Again, true fair, very, very high. And so it's no wonder maybe why we were getting caught out a little bit. But you can see, so such really nice balance from Unai Emery's side there.
Smith's 15, I think. That would make sense because he played for a couple of minutes and that's where he got his head injury.
Yeah. So, and that's where...
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, brilliant.
All right, man of the match and ratings then. We'll do an overall man of the match. I mean, is this easy enough, is it? Or I don't know.
Well, for overalls, I would say Onana. I don't know where.
Not Emi Martinez?
No. He made a couple of brilliant saves, but they were good enough to deserve an outfield player. I think Buendia's got to be up there as well. I thought Watkins ran the channels and stuff, but he didn't score. So I'd probably go Onana, man.
And then for our man of the match?
Oh Christ! Weirdly, when it's stats. When you concede loads, I think, well, it ain't going to be the goalie. But then because he made some saves, I think he won't do too bad. I can't think of an outfield player. Just because he played the full game, I didn't do too much wrong. Maybe Tav's rating's okay.
Let's have a look at SofaScored's ratings then. And it looks like Buendia.
Just above Onana and Emi.
8.5. And for us, I think, just looking at Tavernier, 6.8. Yeah.
No, Scott.
Scott, 7.3. Yeah, Petrovic, 7 as well.
I think Scott probably would have been. He didn't lose the ball loads, and he had that shot that's on target that Martinez tips over. So fair enough. Yeah, Taver just fought because he played the full game, and even though he didn't affect the game, he didn't do loads where he lost it. The alarming one there is, and the one that Aston Villa fans should be very, very pleased with, is our main man, Antoine Semenyo, getting 5.4. Very rare that he gets that. They, on one hand, you got to go fair play Aston Villa. They absolutely locked him up.
They didn't give him much space at all.
But he wasn't very good. And there's a little bit of, I must say concern. He's been incredible. A little bit of last season, he was unplayable. Yeah. The media started talking about it and he fell off a cliff. I'm a bit worried, but a bit purple patchy.
Yeah, but not...
he was, honestly, and the problem is when you have a player, especially at a little team like Bournemouth, that really stands out, they're going to focus on it a little bit. And I thought they sloughed him out really well. And maybe it is one of them things where you just got to give credit to Villa for locking him up, so to speak.
What do you say never to look at fixtures? Like, you say just don't look at them on paper. It's so difficult now because I'm looking at the next few fixtures or whatever. Well, like, at least the next couple. West Ham at home.
I mean, yeah, we should win.
We should, but they've turned a corner. Have they?
Yeah,
and then Sunderland do a quality.
Yeah, Sunderland.
Although maybe away,
mate, it's tough.
Oh no, we're away.
They haven't lost at home yet.
Scary.
But yeah, no, it's going to be difficult. The funny thing is, I actually think West Ham forms kind of changed on shoving Callum Wilson up front and getting him run the channels, ex-Cherries. No, I think West Ham at home, we've got to be looking to win them games. It won't be easy. And as you say, Nuno's sides are pretty good at countering and sitting back and making it hard. I am pleased that I always look at them and go, Bowen, Paqueta.
Yeah.
Paqueta's got 5 yellows.
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully Xhaka gets a cheeky little yellow in their game. I think they're at Fulham because then he'll be out of Sunderland. But we've got a couple on it as well. So yeah, we'll see, mate. We'll be all right. I think it's going to be one of them things, you can look too far ahead. I think that we will probably go like that for quite a bit, win a few, lose a few, blah, blah, blah. But I think at the moment, that pack, I think that'll be enough to keep you in amongst it. There's just teams, like your Villa's a prime example, that you just think might be able to be a bit more consistent. Yeah. What I will say is teams like Villa, like Forest, like Palace, the games will start heating up and they'll start having tougher games in Europe. No disrespect, but Villa playing Maccabi is not really going to affect them as much as maybe in the latter rounds when they have a real difficult fixture. But yeah, as you say, we're not quite to Villa's level yet. I like that our gaffer comes out. He could easily say, 2 really hard games. Credit to the players. He come out and said we weren't good enough. Yeah. We need to look at it. That's because I think he's a manager that thinks, no, we want to bloody get there. We're not going to sit here and go, they're too good. So do like that, mate. But like the away game as a whole. I do like Villa Park, jokes aside. It's one of my favourite stadiums. I've said that before the game. Yes, there's no pub, which we laugh about, but fans home was all right. Really nice to see Villa fans that were great beforehand. And well done, Emi Martinez, for having a very good game.
So I've got Crystal Palace away day review to catch up on, Man City and Villa. We'll do that over the next couple of weeks. But apart from that, mate, I'm looking forward for this 2 weeks now. Just fucking chill out.
A little break.
Chill out a little bit. Watch Alex Scott in action for England, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then, renew and refresh. I was going to say, not many Cherries players will be about, will they, over the next couple of weeks?
No, that's the thing now, as you see about that kind of reset. And,
hardly any.
No, I mean, just going for the team that played. Have you still got up there the team that played yesterday? Because I'm going, if you kind of looked at the side, obviously Petrovic in goal goes.
Yeah.
Smith doesn't. Velko will go. Senesi will go. Trafford won't. Scott's now going. Adams, I'm not sure the situation in America, but if they're playing, he'll go. Semenyo will go. Clivert will go. Tav won't, ever won't. So, yeah, it's almost half. And then even on the bench, Gannon Doak will go. Yeah. Christie will go. Brooks will go. Adley will go. Krupi will go. So, yeah, there's... I doubt Unai will get in the Turkey squad yet, but even Araujo will go. So it's a strange position for. I know that Villa will be saying we always have this, but it's still quite new for Bournemouth fans to have so many go on the break.
So what we're saying is, Andoni, if you're looking to do a five-a-side and you're a couple of players short, just
it's good to have, actually, yeah. We'll give someone a call. Yeah, if you pass it last, we'll find a player for you.
Yeah. Up the Cherries, and thanks so much for all your support and subscribes and likes. It truly means the world to us, and we're looking forward to having a bit of downtime now. But until the next video, or pod if you're listening, up the Chairs.
Up Chairs. Love you, Villa. Sorry for everything, apart from the Mings. I hate Mings. Hate Mings, love Villa. There you go. It's just a nice little...